Hey ladies, today is Sunday, August 22nd, 2020. I am 21 weeks and 5 days pregnant. I finally settled in on the December 28th due date, although I disagree because I know for a fact, based off the date of conception, my due date is December 31st. But the doctors don't go by that. They don't go by date of conception. They go, which to me would seem more accurate than the date of my last period, but they go by the date of your last period. And so based off of that, they came up with a December 28th due date. And no, again, and I've spoken about this before. The only reason it matters, I mean, due dates don't really matter because they're just estimates. But the only reason it matters in my case is because I'll be induced 38 weeks at 38 weeks. So whether that's, 2 weeks before the 28th or 2 weeks after the 31st, I'm sorry, before the 31st, that was where, I want to give the baby as much time as it can have in utero. And, but listen, I've given up the fight. so, so my due date is officially December 28th, 2021. So yeah, but anyway, that said, so, um, I wanted to talk about, so last week I talked about pelvic pain and my doctor recommended doing like some prenatal exercises and I was exercising. I've been exercising. I've been trying to exercise a lot during this pregnancy because I did my first pregnancy. I would, and maybe I remember this pregnancy more fondly, my first pregnancy. But I felt like I had a lot more energy. I know in the first trimester I was tired, but I still felt like I was just like I had a lot more energy. Now, yeah, I was 3 years younger, but still, it still just seems like I'm a lot more tired this time. I don't know if it's because now I have a 2-year-old to chase around, but maybe that has something to do with it. But I just feel like a lot more tired in this pregnancy. But still, I'm still exercising. Usually 6 days a week. I take Saturdays off. So Saturdays are like officially my rest day. So I sleep in and all of that. Um, but usually 6 days a week I exercise. But because the pelvic pain, which I did have in my last pregnancy, but it didn't start until like my probably mid third trimester, started early second trimester in this pregnancy, I decided let me, really start trying to do prenatal yoga, which is something I hadn't really been doing. I did not do really in my first pregnancy much prenatal yoga, but I started to incorporate that into my workout routines. Um, and honestly helped. So I'm not going to say the pelvic pain is gone, no, but like some of the stretching and giving that as prenatal yoga as stretches that are focused on the pelvic region, and strengthening those muscles, which are really important for pushing and supporting the baby's weight during pregnancy, but pushing when you go to deliver. But those muscles take a while to recover. Like I know after my last pregnancy, even after she was born, like months after she was born, I was still having some pelvic pain when I laid down. Like depending on what side I laid on, I could still feel like some pelvic pain. And women sometimes have leaking when they sneeze or laugh, even after pregnancy, and that's the pelvic muscles. So those muscles are something you always have to like think about. But I will say that the yoga has helped. um it like I still have pain, but honestly is getting better. um Another thing that I've started to have more was the Braxton Hicks contractions. So for me, which I did have in my first pregnancy, it for me, the ones that I have experienced have never really been painful. They were more just like a tightening, um, or I guess a contraction of the uterus, but not with any pain. So I feel like a tightening, and then it, releases eventually. So, I mean, it's not like a long time tightening, but you do feel it. It can be a little uncomfortable, but generally is nothing to worry about. I've also had heartburn, but quite frankly, I've had heartburn since the first trimester. And so, but I know it only gets worse as the pregnancy progresses, at least in my case, it did last time. And so I've been taking Pepsid AC every day. And so I take it whether I feel the heartburn or not, but I usually do, but I take it to help prevent and treat. So it does do both. And I've been taking it, and I took a lot more Tums in my first pregnancy. And I don't really think I did the Pepsid. I don't recall. Maybe I did, but this time I'm doing Pepsid and I'm doing it every day. I'm not waiting for any burning um, to make me uncomfortable. So I've been taking it, and we'll see if it continues to work as I progress through the pregnancy and the baby really gets his weight, because once the baby gets bigger, heavier, heartburn tends to become even more of an issue. So I'm also experiencing like dry skin, which is a thing that happens during pregnancy for some people as well. But I don't really have a solution to that other than like moisturizing and putting on lotions and things and trying to find something that really works. I already had eczema, so I use like heavy lotions with deep moisturizing anyway. But even with you when you combine the like dry skin from pregnancy, it's definitely a challenge. So I don't know. I'll continue to look for things that like are perfect for that, but like I use like the cream, the heavy Eucerin lotions and things like that. So, but again, that's because I have eczema, even having nothing to do with pregnancy. So, I don't know. Another thing, you can like increase your water intake, which is really important during pregnancy anyway. So try to drink as much water. I know water helps hydrate your skin, and you have this baby and the baby's placenta and all of that, and the extra 40 to 50% extra blood volume, all of that in your body when you're pregnant. And so you need a lot of extra water. You need a lot of water anyway, and then extra water. So, and then that's constantly meaning running to the bathroom. So, but I don't think there's any way to avoid that, because you have to drink the water. It's really important. And if you plan to breastfeed after delivery, it's going to be important again, because if you're not hydrated, you won't make milk. So it's just something that I learned with my last pregnancy, or more so during breastfeeding. Honestly, I probably didn't drink enough water during my last pregnancy, but I'm trying to force myself to do a lot more, at least a gallon or more a day, which is a lot for me. But if you plan to breastfeed, if you can get used to that, I think it will help when you come to breastfeed, because water and being hydrated really helps with your milk production. It really does. And a lot of women suffer from not producing enough milk. Also, weight gain. So, like in my first pregnancy, I only gained a total of 22 pounds. And I was pretty proud of that. I also got rid of it pretty quickly, like really, really quickly. And after delivery and all of that, like I think a month after giving birth, I was probably like, I had gotten rid of most of the baby weight. Not because I was working out, because I actually didn't start working out until like 6 weeks after, when my doctor said it was okay, but literally it came off. But breastfeeding also does help with that after the fact. It will help you to lose weight because you burn calories with breastfeeding, but you also do eat more with breastfeeding. So, you know, um, but the baby, well, after you have your baby, you have the baby's weight, whatever that's going to be, the extra blood that starts to go away after after pregnancy's over, the weight of the placenta and fluids and stuff. So that does add something. But this pregnancy so far, I've already gained 17 pounds. So I know I am going to go past the 22 pounds of the last pregnancy. Um, Originally I was a little annoyed by that, but then part of me was like, whatever. I'm pregnant is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to gain 50 pounds during the pregnancy, but, I'll work to get it off. I'll have a newborn and a toddler to still chase around, and hopefully I will be able to successfully breastfeed this child. So, figure it out. I'm not really going to worry about it. It is what it is. I'm still, that doesn't mean like just I don't care how much I gain, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be over 22 pounds because the baby hasn't even started to pick up all of its weight yet, which adds into that. My daughter, when she was born, like I said, I gained 22 pounds during that pregnancy. She was 6 pounds, 11 ounces. So that was her weight. And that's not including, whatever the placenta and all that other stuff I named was adding. So, but it is what it is. So that's really just my update on where I am right now. I honestly just finished doing my yoga today, so I have like my workout clothes on. And, I will continue to keep you posted and updated on things. My blood pressure honestly has been better, but I am on nifedipine, and I have been on nifedipine since the craziness that happened with my first pregnancy after giving birth. So I've been on nifedipine for 2 years, over 2 years now, daily. Because my blood pressure never really returned to normal on its own. So for this pregnancy, I continued on a nifedipine, but I'm on a low dose of the nifedipine. I'm only on 30 milligrams, which is believe the lowest dose. And if my blood pressure goes up, which thankfully it has not, hopefully it will not, the doctor can always increase the nifedipine dose or something. But right now it's been not too bad. When I went to the doctor last week, it was 115/71, which is good actually. Probably the best one I've had at the doctor. I noticed that when I go to the doctor, it always ends up being higher than it is when I take it at home. And I think part of that's nerves. I don't know what it is, but when I take it at home, it's generally not high at all. And then when I go to the doctor, it's like, so makes me wonder whether it was really high. But again, I'm on nifedipine, so it's not high with the nifedipine when I'm at home. And then when I go to the doctor, it's still slightly high. It'll be like a 130s, maybe 130s over 80 or something like that. But it'll be like borderline high. And when you're pregnant, your blood pressure tends to go down. So being high is kind of like, they're like, oh, that's what, So hopefully none of you have the blood pressure issue because it's a big pain in the butt. And I just try not to worry about it because worrying only increases your blood pressure, but just try not to worry about it. I just try to do what monitor it, and it's not much I can do. Otherwise, I also take baby aspirin every day, to help, ward off any adverse issues due to the blood pressure. So that's another thing. And like I said, baby aspirin, which is perfectly fine during pregnancy. Generally, aspirin's not, but the baby aspirin is. It's a really low dose. But, so that's it, ladies. That's my update, and I will continue to keep you posted. And everyone stay safe and be well, and I'll talk to you soon.